What's up, everybody? Today is Pungbaek Appreciation Day. So, I was traumatized by being in public chat the other day because when you're in public chat, you have to read things that public chat talks about. So I read these little gems the other day. Oh, goodness. LD scroll soon. Okay, LD scroll soon. Secondary awakening. Cool. Congratulations. Wow. Why is Pung so weak? What? Why is Pungbaek so weak? I know, right? That's someone agreeing with them. Someone agreeing with them that Pungbaek is weak. I'm like, why is Pungbaek so weak? Okay, so out of curiosity, I was like, you know what? Let me check their runes. You always have to check their runes, because if anyone's giving their opinion on something, you have to be like, okay, did you give it a chance? Did you give it a chance? So I did check their runes. I mean, anything's gonna be weak if you give it these runes, right? So I'm like, maybe they're super extremely efficient runes, like super like maximum efficiency, and that's why it's all broken. That's like super crazy runes. I mean, at least they had attack percentage on it. But yeah, I mean, if you're not gonna put like Fatal or Rage on Pungbaek, and you're not gonna put Max the runes, that's so much. And I guarantee, like, who even knows what their towers look like, right? And they're like, Pungbaek is weak. Well, like, yeah, if you don't give Pungbaek a chance, of course he's gonna be weak, right? So let me show you guys my Pungbaek. This is one of my favorite real offense monsters in the game. He's a unit that I know, not even for the memes, not even for the lulz. He's a unit that I use on my main all the time for arena offense, right? One of my favorite arena offense units. He's really great against MIHO. He's like your secret weapon against things like MIHO, against a lot of different things. So he basically, the whole Pungbaek, the whole idea behind Pungbaek, the premise behind Pungbaek is he hits one unit, he does a big bunch of burst damage, he kills it, and then the splash damage hits the rest of the units. Now the splash damage is all pure damage, so it can't crit or not crit or anything, is just pure damage. So things like MIHO, she's not getting crit on, so she's just gonna die from it, right? Things like Camilla's is not a crit, right? The splash damage is not a crit. I mean, if you hit Camilla with as a primary target for the skill, of course it's gonna crit, Camilla's gonna take less damage. But if you hit, for example, Camilla Triana, and you hit the Triana, the splash damage is going to kill the Camilla, splash damage is going to kill the MIHO, the splash damage is going to kill all kinds of lovely things, right? Fire units, it's going to kill it, because there's no crits. There's no crits or not crits. It's just all the splash damage is pure damage, is just damage numbers, not crits. How many times do I have to say not crits? So these are the runes on my Pungbaek. Attack, crit damage, attack on Rage. I actually didn't get this as much damage I wanted to get on the Pungbaek because I needed him to be a certain speed. I needed to be attack, crit damage, attack on Rage specifically to get the maximum damage out of him. But I also needed to get a certain speed so that he didn't get cut in, right? So I had tried with more damage and slower, but he does need both good speed to work. I mean, unless you're using a different team, unless you're using a cleave team, like you can use him in a shield wall cleave team, but that's a different strategy. You guys know the shield will cleave team idea, right? I'm sure you guys know by now. But actually, Pungbaek is, weirdly enough, an HP-based unit. So he has higher HP and he has lower attack than he could have. Could you imagine if he was an attack-type unit? I mean, it is a little weird to see this be like, use arena offense, an HP-type unit. That it doesn't make sense as a unit, but he's nice in cleave teams because he's HP-based unit, right? Because he can take a hit or two, right? From fire units when he's got shield build. Oh my god, I'm just getting ahead of myself. Let's just see some actual Pungbaek arena battles and let's see what he can do. So for any DPS unit that you bring into arena offense, you have to also think about what support units they need to make them do their job. So for many units like Lucian, he just needs an attack power buffer, and that's it. You know, increase your attack gauge and attack power buff, and you're just gonna ignore defense. For some other units, though, they need full team strip. Like for example, Azaros, he needs a full team strip. He needs a full attack power buff, defense break. Well, he just needs attack power buff on himself, and then an AOE defense break on the enemies because he's an AOE skill, right? Everything does damage equally. For Pungbaek, though, Pungbaek is different. So Pungbaek needs an attack power buff, of course, on himself. And then he only needs a strip and a defense break on one of the enemies, though. So he doesn't need like a Tiana Galley, and he can actually get away with something like this, which is like you don't even need the Shimite, for example. You can use other stuff. Right, for this team, you don't even need the Shimite. You can use plenty of other things. But you can go with like a Bastet or a Megan. And then you can also go with a Lauren, who does a strip into a defense break. Also, Bajir, the Water Giant Warrior, does the same thing. So we're going to hit this team, and you're going to be like, what? That's a stall team. I don't even like hitting those teams. So we have a attack power buff, and then we have single target. There's not anything there anyway, but we have one of these. I'm going to do this, because I don't want to proc his, the Lich's nonsense, right? So I'm going to go Lightning of Cycle. We get the crit there. It almost kills Camilla. That didn't do that much damage on the Lich. I guess the Lich had high defense. But, oh, thank you. But now we're totally solid doing this Camilla, because the Lauren basically takes care of the Camilla, as it is. Just decrease attack age, so. Here's another team we can use. So this is an AoE stripper and AoE attack buff defense break if they have something like a resistance lead, where you're like, maybe I might not get the defense break. With a single target strip and defense break on whatever I need. So we're going to take this. Soha's going to do some fluff damage. And then we're going to AoE, like I said, strip, attack, power buff, defense break. And then we should be able to nuke just fine. So let's see what we do. I mean, I feel like, honestly, like a lot of these teams you can still Lucian, like some kind of Lucian variant. But we're using Pungbaeks. We're using Pungbaeks. Let's go here. Let's go Lightning of Cycle. I'll go on to the Dark Beast Monk. Like, I would still Lucian this. I think maybe some people might feel, like, intimidated to Lucian this. They're like, I don't know, they're gonna come back from the dead. I'd be like, still Lucian. Still Lucian. Still Lucian. Alright, so let's do one of these. Soul Snatcher. We should be able to kill with that. We'll do one of these. We'll do... Wow, Soha does a lot of damage. Yeah, Soha does a lot of damage. I don't know why I did that, actually, because that was way overkill. We didn't need to do all that. Soha can also... She gives herself a shield, so she can also take some hits. Let's do one of these. And then let's do one of these. I should have saved that second skill, though. I should have just killed with the Gene with the first skill. So this is actually the team that I love to use Pungbaek in. This is my favorite team, so we're going to... Tiana Galley, there's just no RNG involved. Zyros to reset everything. Oh my goodness. And that's why you love when Pungbaek is an HP-based DPS unit. They're extremely fast. They're extremely fast. Alright. Are they going to cut? This is why my Pungbaek need to be fast, actually. That's why. And then we'll go for... That already increased the cooldown, so we can just go for Lightning of Cycle onto you. Because it's going to do more damage to her than it would Triana. So here we have another team. We're going to use Samoth. We're going to use Triton. Triton is we could use Tiana, but we're going to use a different stripper, right? Show you different options for strippers. Soha, Triton, Lauren, Tiana. So we're going to take this and we'll do a reset with the Samoth. And then we'll see what gets reset. We'll kind of play it by ear. We'll see what gets defense broken. We'll do some attack gauge pushbacks, not that we really need them. And Samoth's not going to do that much damage to proc the passive of the Light Lich. So let's see. Ooh, we need to cool down this Triana. We did get the cooldown on Triana. Nice. So we're just going to go Lightning Cycle. We got kind of lucky, right? Because I really do like the defense break. As long as we got either a defense break or a cooldown on Triana. So we had two things that we need to at least blend one of them, right? So we can Lightning Cycle of this on this Light Lich, and then nuke everything else. Did we cool down Perna or no? We didn't even get him, man. Oh my goodness. We didn't even get him. We can get a couple debuffs. This is going to be kind of annoying for a second, though, but we'll be fine. One of these, and then we'll... She has her passive! Oh, no, it's not a full cooldown. We're not using Zyros. We're not using Zyros. And we can just auto at this point, but Lightning of Cycle now, Pungbaek. I never said he had good AI. I just said that he was a usable arena offense bot. Let's try to find some more MIHOs, though. I want to find some more MIHOs and some more Light Liches, because that's the reason he's good in a rush hour, because there's so many Light Lich and MIHOs. Let's say you don't have Shimite built, but maybe you have a Tyrant built. We can also use the Tyrant in this team, too. Speaking of Light Lich and MIHO, right? So we got one of these. We have a, well, actually, that makes less sense than that. We should just use Shimite, really. Because you wouldn't really use Tyron because he doesn't have a strip. Unless you know the things are not on, lols. Unless you know the things are not on immunity. So we'll go Lightning of Cycle. Wow, that did not do enough damage. That must have been a really defense tanky Triana, actually. Interesting. But we still are actually just fine, because it did enough damage, and we have the Lauren as well, who's good against the Light Lich. Okay, for this team, we really, really need a defense break on the aerial, because we're not going to be able to do anything to the, like, we may not crit on the Juno, we may not crit on the Rakan, and then the Skogul may be pretty tanky, so well, they're going to be tanky, but we need a defense break on this aerial, so we're going to take a Lauren, because she's a more consistent defense break. She's got a few different chances with each hit to, oh, he's got immunity, he's got shield and will. Alright, so we're hoping that we can actually land. There we go. Like I said, a little consistent. So that's nice. And we'll do some fluff damage. Holy crap, that was way too much fluff damage. Okay, Shimite, chill out, buddy. Shimite's like, you want me to kill everything? No, Shimite, chill out. Shimite's a good unit too, by the way. And then we don't need to worry about critting or not critting on these fire units because it's all just pure damage. This is a good example of killing fire units with just a pure splash damage. So this one, we got it. This is my favorite to Zyros because you have the Zyros cools down, the Triana, the Zyros also cools down. If you don't have Zyros, you can use a Fire Succubus. So the Fire Succubus is also good. The Dark, what's-her-face? The Dark Pixie is also good at cooling things down, both in skill 2 and skill 3. So we increase cooldown on everyone. We don't want to see you kill everything, Zyros. Zyros like violent proc now. Like, you don't have to violent proc now, but yeah. This is my favorite Pungbaek team to use, though. This one, all time, all day, every day. Right? This is really nice against, like, if there was a MIHO or a Camila or a Light Lich in there or something like that. You know what? Let's try another Soha. Let's try another Soha strip. She'll do a little bit of fluff damage. I don't want to do too much damage with the Shimite. Oh, we didn't even need the strip. GG, we didn't even need a strip. Alright, let's see what we can do here. We got CC on the one unit. We didn't really need to CC too much. Okay, we're missing some strips. I mean, we're missing a defense break on Tyrannus. But let's hit you. And then we should be able to do a decent amount of damage. Kills everything. He comes back. He's going to revive other stuff. But, yeah, but this is nice because we can show it without needing crazy OP like 5 like Zyros, Tiana, all this other stuff. We can use it with just this, right? The other units are 2 4-stars and a 3-star. So something that we can easily replicate. Alright guys, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I just want to do a Pungbaek Appreciation Day to show you guys how good he can be. I know there's other good DPS units like Lucian and like Shimite, but right now, and especially in Rush Hour, there's a lot of stall things like Camila, especially MIHO, the Light Lich. Light Lich doesn't have a name, he's just Light Lich, right? Camila, MIHO, and Light Lich. So I just wanted to show you how good he can be against some of those units. Those are the units that I bring him in against in Rush Hour, things that you may not want to Lucian, because Lucian's going to multi-hit, he's going to trigger the Light Lich invincibility and start absorbing your HP. That's one of the things. Camila, he just does splash damage, which doesn't crit. MIHO, he just does splash damage, which doesn't crit. And then fire tanks, he can just do the splash damage, which doesn't crit. Doesn't have the chance to crit or not crit, because it's just pure splash damage. So those are really the things that I look to take Pungbaek into. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you as always in the next one.